listening to the Scoop Slam Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a WrestleMania ScoopMania edition of the Scoop Slam Podcast. We're back, as always, the biggest weekend wrestling, and we are here to talk about it. Joining me on the other side of this call, I am Micah, but my co-host, he's the historian of the Scoop Slam Podcast and the final boss's biggest fan. It's Ryan.
Yo, Micah. Man, it was a really long weekend.
Yeah.
You still breathing?
I'm still kicking.
Sprite Zero.
Uh-oh, got your Sprite Zero. No sponsor, no sponsor.
Oh, yeah.
I got my Dr. Pepper over here.
Dr. Pepper. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What flavor is that?
Oh, just the regular. I do like the strawberries, though.
Yeah, was that the strawberry and cream that you had me try the other day?
Mm-hmm. At our WrestleMania watch party.
Oh, of course. Shout out to that watch party. Legendary watch party.
Yep. And it was a big weekend, as you said. A lot going on, not only on WrestleMania, but the ensuing events after. There's Raw, Dynamite, SmackDown, people debuting on SmackDown this week. So there's a lot to get to. We're going to talk about WrestleMania, what we don't get to in this episode, we'll get to next week. Bear with us. It's always a huge week, so we'll do what we can.
How much wrestling do you think we watched this week?
Oh, God. Well, WrestleMania was, 4 hours apiece?
Yeah. Do you watch Stand and Deliver?
I watched the Trick and Mello match.
Okay. Raw. You watched all of Raw, didn't you?
Yep, all of Raw. The 3-hour edition.
You watched SmackDown tonight.
Yep.
So you basically put in a part-time job this week of watching wrestling.
Exactly. So please bear with. And then on top of that, we got to come in here and talk about it for at least probably an hour, if not two, and then editing, which editing doesn't take that long. Because,
we had to review the game tape, too, of Brawl In. We had to dive in depth on that. Yeah. We'll probably talk about it next week. I don't know.
We'll see how it goes because there's a lot to get to. But I gotta say on the agenda from this past weekend, shout out the Tide. We made it to the Final Four.
Yeah.
And we lost to the eventual champions, and we lost by less than the other team did in the championship. So,
yeah.
Something to be said for that.
Yeah, it's just frustrating, man. It's just frustrating because we hit so many threes, and it wasn't enough. Yeah. Shout out to UConn, though. They're a really talented team. You could tell, Bama was holding them. They were keeping a 5-point deficit. They couldn't run away from us, but at the same time, we couldn't ever catch up. So they were holding them, but they had too much girth and tonnage.
Okay. As Skip Bayless would say.
They did have a lot of size, though.
Yeah, they did. We have one tall guy on the team.
Yeah, and then that 7'2" guy from UConn. What was his name? Klingon? Yeah, that guy. Him too. Man, he just dominated us on the board.
I think he declared for the draft today.
Oh, bro, gonna be a top 10 pick because this draft looked like buns.
Who is coming out of this draft? Yeah, there really wasn't any captivating college players. There were some good college players, but a lot of them were older. Even Mark Sears from Alabama, he's a junior, so a lot of times they take freshmen.
Women's college basketball is the hot sport in town. Nobody was talking about the men's college basketball all year until the tournament, really.
Yeah. Well, I did catch a couple of the women's basketball games, and Kayla Clark's pretty dang good.
She is, but did you see the ratings for the women's college basketball tournament compared to the men's?
I didn't see compared to the men's, nuh-uh.
It was the first time in history that they had higher ratings than the men's college basketball finals.
Wow. I can believe that though, because they had 8 superstars going into it from all different teams, and obviously you got South Carolina who hadn't lost a game all season.
Yeah.
They lost
one game last year.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. Don Staley is a really good coach.
Oh yeah. But Micah, I mean, I think name, image, and likeness and the transfer portal, it's kind of killed men's college basketball. Don't you think?
Yeah, there's a lot. Like even Kentucky's coach, John Calipari, went to Arkansas like
They have no team.
randomly.
They have no
Like,
team. Did you see that? They have
oh
one player
yeah.
on the team.
I mean, hey, if you want to
Everyone
play
transferred
for
out.
one of the most legendary coaches,
Everybody transferred out, man. Like it's outrageous the transfer portal.
yeah, there's I think 2 guys from Alabama have entered, which one of them was like he was just a like walk on.
Yeah.
And he had like different circumstances, but
Still though.
also something that's killed college basketball is the international game because aren't like the top 6 draft picks from other countries this year?
Yeah, they've been producing a lot of people in Europe and some of Asia. Like the international game is catching up to us very slowly, but they're gonna get there. It's the way they train their young players now. They train them more on fundamentals and not just running to the 3-point line like they're Steph Curry.
And I mean, they go to the Euro League a lot of time. You can play when you're younger. So you're playing against grown men when you're 14, 15, 16.
And be a freakish tall guy. That helps too. Like Wembanyama, he's like 7'5".
Yeah. Dude, first off, we need to get an NBA podcast. But secondly, he is a like freak of nature to watch.
Legit alien.
Yeah. Do you see his new Nike logo?
It look clean. I ain't gonna lie to you. It looks very clean. But
it's probably the best one they've came out with since like LeBron or Kobe's.
You didn't like KDs? I know you had a pair of KDs in the closet.
Yeah, but they were just basic. I actually didn't. I didn't have a pair of KDs.
Bro, I got 3 pairs.
No, that's a
right
lie.
now.
I have some KD 5s.
There you go. I mean, I didn't hate that logo. I thought it was pretty cool.
I didn't hate it, but I don't know. I did. I had a pair of LeBrons, pair of Kyrie. I love the Kyrie ones with the spikes on the back, but man, you couldn't keep them things clean for nothing. The spikes would scratch up so bad.
Yeah. I've never had any Kyries.
They were comfortable. I had the USA and one other. I can't remember.
Does he even have a shoe deal anymore after all that stuff that happened with him a couple years ago?
I think it's like some small company.
Probably some Chinese company somewhere. Oh no, he probably wouldn't support that. Never mind.
I want to say it's like Anta. I don't know. Anyways, it was a big weekend for wrestling. And Triple H is trying to get signature sneaker deals for WWE. Did you see something about that?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, he said something like they were basically talking about how Roman like wears Jordans all the time, and he said something like, "I think it's time that wrestlers get signature shoe deals." I mean, I wouldn't hate it. I think it could work for some of them.
Yeah, it's definitely a new era though. If they are letting wrestlers have sponsorship deals, like Cody Rhodes has that vodka brand. Roman, I heard the rumbles like you said about Nike. I mean, this is a whole different world we're living in, Micah, with WWE. WrestleMania proved that because there was a lot of stuff that I was shocked to see and shocked to hear.
Yeah. And as we were talking about sports, Nike, all that good stuff, if you're looking for good sports merch, let's go ahead and talk about our sponsor that we'll put right front and center like it's a prime logo. That's right. It is Dead Threads. If you are a fan of NBA, NFL, college basketball, like we were talking about, men or women's, any sport really that has a major team or college team, go to Dead Threads, get you some merch. The NBA playoffs are just around the corner. MLB just started back. NHL playoffs are just around the corner. So it's a good time to be getting your merch. And make sure, if you do, go check out Dead Threads, which will be in the link in the description at the bottom of this episode. Make sure to use our code and use that link. The code is Scoop Slammed. That's right. Name of the podcast, Scoop Slammed. and that'll get you, I think the link gives you 15% and our code gets you 10%. I just got a shirt in the other day. They had a final 40 giveaway. They give away 40 shirts, which they do those as well. So check them out on their Instagram and Twitter if you want a giveaway. But let me tell you, the shirt, super comfortable, super true to size. Like, I wear XL and it was long enough, it's not too tight where it kind of shows my stomach a little bit. And it's comfort color t-shirts, so they're crazy comfortable and the logo looks great. It didn't fade or anything and really good. And the shipping took like 3 days. So make sure to go get you some Dead Threads. If you're a fan of any sport outside of wrestling, they got some of the best merch in the game right now. Anyways, you were talking about a new era of WWE, and this is the beginning of it, as said by Triple H, who opened up the show night one. Kind of cool to see him, obviously, popping the crowd and everything, getting them ready early. And he basically said it's a new era of WWE, and Stephanie would open up the second day, which I was kind of shocked about, but I feel like they were true to point with that. I mean, there's a lot of new champions and kind of the last vestiges of the Vince era champions have, they're gone now. Roman lost, Gunther lost. Rhea's probably the only one, but I mean, she was kind of in that in-between period.
That's a good point. I didn't think about it like that. This was officially the first time Vince McMahon was not at a WrestleMania, which is crazy.
Yeah. If Stephanie went there, it would have been the first time that like a McMahon wasn't at a WrestleMania.
Yeah. Yeah. Insane to think of. But times have changed, really. Times have changed.
And personally, I think that's a good thing because the worst thing that ever could have happened to AEW and the best thing that could have happened to WWE was for Triple H to take power and Vince to lose complete control. But anyways, let's open up the first match on the card for the Women's World Championship, or World Heavyweight Championship, I'm sorry. Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch, which I thought was a good match to start off the show. If you can't be the main event, it's good to be the opener because it's what sets the pace for the rest of the show, especially on night one. And I saw something the other day said that Rhea had like a panic attack before she even went out there.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that too. Becky Lynch was under the weather too.
Oh shoot! Well, it was really cold out there too, which did affect the fans, as a bunch of people in the crowd said. But I guess I never thought about that. I mean, imagine the pressure. Like, you're the first match of WrestleMania. If you stink it up, that just sets a bad taste in everybody's mouth.
Well, bro, she was the main event of the Australian show. What was that, last month?
Yeah.
Come on now.
But that's 70,000 people. It's WrestleMania.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of people in that Australian stadium.
Well,
come on now. Becky is the one that was soldiering through. I mean, being sick, going into WrestleMania in that cold weather. No, you know what? That bothered me too, because they made it seem like they were in Siberia all night. Like, the fans are punks. They are just, I wanted to call them something else, but still, Micah, that, like, you get the Michael Cole weather alert every 5 minutes, too. That was unnecessary. I didn't know about that.
You don't think that was cold? It was like 47 degrees.
Bro, come on, man. Really? 47 degrees?
That's pretty cold in an open air stadium.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. But then again, I'm cold nature anyway. I wear a hoodie when it's hot outside.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do always wear a hoodie.
Yeah, bro, I wear a hoodie. Going to work today. Yeah.
Oh, well, I wore a flannel. It was in the 50s by the night. So, anyways, I don't really have any particular like points about this match that I wanted to hit on, but I thought overall it was a really solid match between two of the most talented women I have on the roster wrote down, but probably in the world. Becky's kind of, to me, in that same phase of her career that Charlotte's in, where her TV matches are just okay. I don't want to say that she phones it in, but I mean, But like when it comes to a PLE, Becky and Charlotte always just go balls to the wall. They do everything they can to put on a great match. And I thought this was a really good match. I I don't think it was better than the one she had with Charlotte last year, Rhea, that being, but I thought it was a good start to the show.
They had a better story than Charlotte and Rhea had last year, because I cannot for the life of me, Micah, remember what Rhea and Charlotte, I don't know what their rivalry was about last year.
It was about Charlotte beating her years ago.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, still though, this had a better story going in. I thought Becky, she worked well in there with Rhea, and Rhea had a pretty cool entrance. Did you like that?
Yeah, so that guy looked a lot like younger her though, with
brother.
the slick back hair.
That was her brother.
But it was a really cool moment though, because apparently she's like always been a fan of that band. See, I didn't know that was like an actual song. I thought that was just like a Def Rebel song, which I guess I should have known otherwise, because it actually sounds like a good wrestling theme song, whereas everything Def Rebel makes sounds like ear diarrhea. But
yeah, Def Rebel loves their corporate rap too. Like, I'm the greatest, I'm the best. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's like the Raw and SmackDown theme songs.
Bro, that's Bronson Reed's theme song. That's Austin Theory's theme song. That's a bunch of guys' theme songs.
I just, I can't understand.
Why is that the same theme for everybody, man?
Why, like, what happened to wrestling theme songs?
There's got to be a different composer, a different band they can get, because they've been knocking the ball out the park with their hires lately. WWE, I mean, with the new Kevin Dunn replacement, Nick Khan basically coming in with no wrestling experience and changing the whole trajectory of the company. You figure they can get somebody to work on these songs now.
Well, like UFC uses licensed music.
Isn't that like a loophole, because technically the arena is playing it and not UFC? Or am I not remembering that right?
Oh, maybe you're talking about like the ECW loophole?
Yeah, because that's how on they can get songs on the NBA broadcast, because technically the arena is playing the music and not the actual like ESPN or TNT or stuff like that.
I mean, it might be. I wouldn't doubt it. But I mean, good God, they make billions of dollars. Is it that hard to ask for licensed music?
Not even just get a good composer in there. Work with the talent on new songs. You don't really need. It'd be nice to have licensed music, but I don't think it's a make or break. What's your favorite theme of all time, Mike? Favorite theme song for a wrestler?
Oh God. Well, Batista's jumps off the paper to me.
Okay, that was good.
I've always liked Triple H's "My Time."
Okay, that was Jim Johnston.
Yep, Jeff Hardy, okay. No More Words.
Yeah, I like that one.
Let's see.
That was actually his. I think he did write that song. But still, though, my favorite was like The Brood or Ken Shamrock, Undertaker's. Dang, something going down over there. Can you hear that ambulance?
Oh yeah, Dominic pulling up.
Better watch out, man. He's a dangerous man. But still, though, Undertaker's when he was in the Ministry, I love that theme. But that wasn't licensed music. That was just Jim Johnston in the studio just creating fire. Like they can't. Is there no other Jim Johnston out there, Mike?
Well, Downstate, I like Downstate. I don't know about everybody else, but like the Ziggler theme was always heat to me. Did they make the Drew McIntyre theme?
You talking about Broken Dreams?
Yeah.
I thought that was a real song. I could be wrong though. You
maybe it is. Well, the Miz's theme, I know it's basic, but I mean it's kind of classic.
I like that.
They were fine. But
didn't they create voices, or was that an actual song? Like Randy Orton?
I don't know. Which they made Kingdom.
Do they really? That's crazy.
I'm pretty sure they do.
I didn't notice that.
Let me look that up to make sure. But yeah, Downstate. Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's
what I'm saying. Why can't they? Yeah, they made Dolph's theme, Miz's theme, Kingdom. They made Dolph's new theme. They do a lot of yeah, he has a new theme song since he left.
Does he sing his vocals?
Dolph?
Yeah, does he say,
No.
does he say, bro, I've never heard, if you singing your theme song, that's automatically gonna be a banger. Like, come on now. Who sung their theme song had a bad song? Sean,
Well,
great song. Big Show, great song.
Big Show didn't sing his theme song.
Don't act like you didn't think that was him.
I did as a kid.
Exactly.
Well, anyways, do you have any final thoughts about Becky versus
yeah.
Rhea?
It was a match. It was there.
Okay, well, speaking of another match that was there, following that was a 6-pack ladder match for both WWE Tag Team titles, Raw and SmackDown. I'm not even going to list all the teams off of this because I'm assuming if you listen to us, you watched this or you watched this. Anyways,
listen to this and you watch that.
That's right. Words are hard, I tell you. Overall, I'm glad that they split the titles. I know you probably don't have that same sentiment, but
nope.
I'm glad that they split the titles if, and big if, they begin to put some focus into the tag division, which I do think Triple H is trying to do. Because, think about how many new teams we have all of a sudden. A-Town Down Under, New Catch Republic reformed, DIY reformed. So I feel like he's focusing something into it, but if you're going to do that, please give us some new belts. I don't even care if you change the WWE Championship at this point. Just get some new tag titles.
And it's crazy because they had some made, like new tag titles made, but they just haven't released them, or I haven't heard anything from them. But I remember a story coming out maybe last year saying that they had new tag titles made. So I don't know what's going on with that.
I don't know. I'm so sick of those Spartan championships. Like, I didn't even like them when they were the pennies.
Oh, those are garbage.
I definitely don't like them. I don't like colored straps unless it makes sense for the character or if it's white.
Wow, Micah. Getting racist, are you?
Whoa, come on. What do you mean? The best strap color is black.
I get what you're saying, man. Yeah, the whole red and blue straps are. I've come to peace with it, but I mean, it's time. We've had that design for what was it, 12 years now? They rolled out the penny titles in what, 2012?
I think so.
Yeah, so it's time. It is time.
Yeah, and I don't know, the red and blue strap just makes it look like a toy belt.
I'm sure they're selling a lot of toys with those particular designs, but it's got to be. I mean, wouldn't you sell more toys if you brought out a new design?
I would think. Or I don't know. As a kid, I didn't care. Like, one of my favorite belts that I had was the World Heavyweight Championship and the White Strap Intercontinental Championship. Nothing about those looked like toys.
Yeah. You got to defend them on the trampoline, though.
Oh, man. Man, when they started coming out with the pleather straps instead of that, like, cheapo styrofoam, man, world changed then.
Yeah, I get you. I was hoping that we would get some new designs, new tag title design in this match, but we didn't get that. But we did get some R-Truth antics, and the day I do not laugh at R-Truth's antics, Micah, is the day I'm no longer on this earth, because he pulled out that little hot tag spot, and I died laughing. I got a kick out of that.
I'm not gonna lie, it just works with Truth. I mean, it's hokey as all get out, but sometimes stuff just if you're over, and we'll kind of talk about this with the main event too. If you're over, it just works. And
it does, yeah.
That's the case with Truth. Like, I mean, yes, it's stupid. Yes, it makes no sense, but did I pop? Yeah. Did I think it was funny? Yeah. Did everybody in the arena pop? Yeah. So, I tip my cap to R-Truth.
It got one of the biggest reactions of the night.
Yeah. Especially when he actually, like, pulled down the belt. I mean, the hot tag itself got a huge reaction, but when he faced his fears, climbed up that ladder, and pulled the belts down for little Jimmy. It was inspirational to all us little kids who grew up watching R-Truth smoke cigarettes in the crowd.
Oh, bro, 11-year-old me was smiling on the inside.
And I know a lot of people don't or were upset in the build up to this because they didn't want Awesome Truth because they're obviously a little older and they're not the most technically sound wrestler. Oh,
Who
yeah.
was hating on this?
The IWC did not like R-Truth and The Miz in a championship contending spot.
Oh, who do they want to be in that spot? What do they want? The Catch Republic in that spot? I mean, they get no reaction. They get no reaction, Micah.
Well,
they didn't even get their own graphics when they came out there. Did you see that?
I did.
They had the Miz and R-Truth graphics out there.
Look, all I'm saying is the people that like AEW and the kind of wrestling that AEW produces, which is the more technically gifted wrestlers, love New Catch Republic and DIY. That's what dominates the majority of the IWC, and they wanted them to win. But Truth and Miz are over, and like they're not marquee tag wrestlers, but they have been doing good work on TV.
They have history. They're the longest tenured tag team in the match. I mean, come on now, Micah. They've been tagging since 2011.
Yeah.
They faced Rock and Cena. They faced Rock and Cena on pay-per-view. Do you not remember this?
Oh, I remember.
Before, never again. Come on now.
Yeah, never again, because the Miz and R-Truth should not have been in that spot.
Yeah, I don't think they main evented a pay-per-view ever again.
No, not as a team. I know Miz did, but
oh yeah, that one more. Is Grayson Waller the first guy to ever just climb a ladder? Like not fumble around on the ladder. He just actually climbed it. Did you see how fast he climbed that ladder?
Yeah, and I don't even think he got thwarted. Like the first time he climbed it, he just immediately grabbed the belt and that was it.
Crazy. Like what concept? Actually climbing a ladder.
Oh yeah. Like R-Truth kind of makes sense because he's afraid of heights, but everybody else, there was somebody that was really selling it, and I was like, dude, come on. I think it was Finn.
You tell me you don't look around when you're climbing a ladder, Micah, and gingerly go up each step? Is that not how you climb ladders, Micah?
Well, I don't have to climb many ladders in my day, but I do typically climb helicopters, and I'm getting paid by the hour when I climb them.
Hey, bro, be honest. If you ever climbed a ladder in your life, you've done the Jeff Hardy taunt on top of the ladder.
Oh yeah, I used to have a ladder at my grandma's house that I would like. I didn't have my trampoline over there, but I would like climb it and have like matches and crap involving the ladder. Like I would, I couldn't hang the title from anything, so I would just put it at the top.
Yeah.
Still afraid of heights, though. Believe that or not.
You're afraid of heights?
Oh, yeah.
I would have thought. Bro, don't you work on helicopters?
I mean, yeah, but whatever pays the bills. Speaking of heights, there was lots of crazy bumps in this, especially JD falling off the ladder. That's the one that really sticks out to me because it was a thud when he hit the ground, and it's kind of funny because he's small, but if he had went like a little bit more forward, he was close to hitting his feet on the barricade, and that would have been rough.
Well, his head is very large, Micah. So, all that weight, like crashing down, it's going to make a large thud.
Yeah, he sent himself too far forward because of that head. But to close this up, I mean, it was pretty much what you thought it was going to be. I am intrigued to see A-Town Down Under because I think you are the reason that I'm intrigued in them because it's just like the Morrison Miz thing. I want to see how it plays out. And now they got the added Logan Paul factor too. Yeah. It's a great group. You can see those guys hanging out together, Yeah. They'll look like frat guys at a bar. Yeah, exactly. So I think it's going to do Theory good in the long run, which I'm hoping that he'll rub off a little charisma. Grayson Waller will rub off a little bit of his charisma on Theory. Well, I don't know. Grayson is weird because I really did not like him. And then he
I'm
kind
coming
of
around
grew
to him.
on me a little bit.
Yeah, I'm coming around to him, man.
He's still really cheesy.
He is, but he has such a punchable face, you know?
Yeah. He's like a better Sammy Guevara.
Yeah, like Sammy Guevara with like 5 inches of height and
An
actually looks like a
Australian
grown.
accent.
Yeah, Australian accent. There you go.
But did you have anything else you wanted to add to this? Or, I mean, I know you're not glad that they split up the titles.
I'm not. My predictions were not right so far. I'm having a bad night of WrestleMania Night 1 with predictions, Micah.
Yeah. Did you predict this next one right? Did you predict any of these right?
I think I got no, I didn't. Well, no, I think I guessed Jimmy. No, Jay. I think I had Jay. I don't know, man. I don't think I got many right. I got the main event right. That's all.
Hey, that's all that matters. The final boss.
Yeah.
But following this, we had the culmination of the LWO story, which I gotta admit I am kind of glad because tonight on SmackDown they Santos group. It looks like they're gonna. You said this is it Legado?
Yeah, Legado del Fantasma.
Okay, well, whatever you said, they look like they're gonna kind of switch gears and start feuding with the Pride. So I'm interested in that. At least it's something different.
Another race war, huh?
Oh God.
I'm just saying. Come on, man. We had Japanese versus the black people later on. Come on, man.
Well,
Can we stop with these race wars on SmackDown?
You said it, not me.
Can we all just come together, Micah?
Peace in the land.
Peace and tranquility.
Well, anyways, we had Rey and Andrade, which was Dragon Lee before he was brutally attacked by an unnamed assailant as of this moment. We're not sure who it is because Santos denied it. But it was versus Santos and Dom. This is probably the most like forgetful match of the entire 2 nights. Like the only thing I remember is Rey spanking Dom in the corner because it was a callback to last year, and then the Eagles players coming out at the end. I don't even remember what they did though. I think they ran Dom into the turnbuckle post.
They snatched up the chair from Dom, and Lane Johnson threw Dom into the ring post.
Okay.
Yeah.
I believe you.
Yeah, that happened. Is Rey the Mexican Hogan? Don't ever put over his son. He won't even put over his son, man. Come on.
That was something like, I don't know. I feel like Santos gets no big wins.
Does Dom get any big wins?
Well, I mean, he was a champion though. Santos ain't even been a champion or nothing. Wait, yes, champion? He was. He was U.S. champion. My bad.
Oh, wait, you talking about Santos?
Yeah.
No, remember he lost the Rey in the tournament, right? I
thought he was champ, but
did he? I don't remember that.
I thought he was champ and then had to. I'll look it up. But anyways,
I don't know.
It just feels like this whole feud was supposed to get Santos over, and then nothing really happened.
And then Dom got shoehorned in there because reasons. And Rey, the selfish dad he is, doesn't put over his son. That don't work for me, mijo. That's what he did, Micah. Come on, man.
Don't work for me, mijo.
Put over your son, man. What are you doing?
Well, he couldn't wait to get home to beat his kids.
Oh, come on now. Hey, but hold up now. We are now a little closer to that Io Sky Taylor Swift match. You know it.
Oh God.
We're closer now, man. It's gonna happen.
So next year they'll get Jason Kelsey, and then the next year we'll have Taylor Swift.
There you go. Book it.
You mean to tell me we couldn't get invited to a presser? But they
questions like that, they just let in anybody.
Well, The Rock, do you think you would invite Vin Diesel to come out?
You know, that I wouldn't hate the idea, man. I don't know.
Oh, come on.
They still got beef, Mike.
I've never seen any of those movies except for like the first 2.
I was about to say, you didn't see the second one. A classic. Too Fast, Too Furious.
Oh well, Tokyo Drift too. Tokyo Drift's good.
You didn't see Fast Five where Rock was in it, and that was one of like 2012 or something. You didn't see that one?
No.
I thought Fast Five was pretty good.
Except The Rock looked like he ate a younger version of The Rock. He was huge.
Did you ever see one of the spinoffs, Hobbs and Shaw, where Roman Reigns was in it?
He was in it?
Yeah, he was. He did.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I'm surprised he hasn't done more stuff after that. But yeah, he was in Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah, remember this whole time he was supposed to be taking a lighter schedule to start moving to Hollywood and then proceeds to not have done a single movie since then.
Well, he's a family man, Mike. I think he has 2 sets of twins. I mean, guy's probably really busy.
Oh, God. Well, speaking of twins, the following match was Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a historical stinker on our hands right here. This match was straight buns. 17 super kicks.
Yeah. It made me appreciate Jeff Hardy versus Matt Hardy a lot more at WrestleMania 25.
Oh, yeah. And Bret Owen.
Oh, yeah. Bret Owen for sure. How do you have such negative chemistry with your flesh and blood like that, Micah?
You would think since they're twins, they have that, like, it's not like genuine telepathy, but it's like, they got weird like twin abilities because they're so similar. You would think, I don't know, something didn't click.
Maybe that's why it didn't work, because their styles are so similar.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, how many times you would wrestle like with your brother on the trampoline? Like, me and you have zero experience. And I feel like we could at least pull out like a Canadian Destroyer or something.
Oh, heck yeah. I just don't understand, like, who produced this? Who thought this was going to be a good match? I can understand. It seemed like they were going for a story in the match more than a work rate classic, but the story did not work in front of this crowd and at home. It didn't translate at all. It was just a heatless super kick fest. That's basically what it was.
Yeah, I mean, well, even like, I kind of could understand the story, but it's hard in a huge arena, especially open air too, to like hear some of that stuff translate over the camera. And I don't know, man. Something wasn't working. You couldn't. What?
No, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, like, you can't tell me that you plan for that many super kicks and think like, yeah, this will go over well.
Oh, I thought the video package was pretty good beforehand.
Yeah, and I like both of these guys. I really like Jey.
I knew something wasn't about to. I knew this was about to be a bad match when I seen what they did at the Rumble. You remember that? When they came out 1-2, I said, bro, this is gonna be a bad match. It's crazy. It's crazy because the best part of this whole match was Lil Wayne's performance, and his performance was awful.
His performance wasn't that bad.
Bro, he rapped 3 lines, and what's wrong with his face? What happened to Lil Wayne? What happened to his face?
What are you talking about?
I don't know. His face just looks more puffy. I don't know what happened to Lil Wayne.
I mean,
look right, man. He don't look right.
I don't know. He looks like Lil Wayne to me. I mean, he's a little old.
That ain't Wheezy, man.
What you think it is? A clone?
It's gotta be, man. That ain't him, man. I don't know. How much money did he make for rapping 3 lines at WrestleMania?
Oh, there ain't no time. I did think it was weird that he didn't like rap hardly at all, but he looked kind of abruptly cut off too when he's like when they hit Jay's music, he was like, huh? Okay. I don't know. If we're bringing back like 2000s rappers, I need Lil Jon to bring Drake. Somebody out.
We need Drake. Oh, well, hold up now. Lil Jon, that's the great LA Knight tie-in. Are we? Come on now.
Oh, man. That.
Yeah.
Book it. Next year WrestleMania. LA Knight introduced by Lil Jon.
Hey, man. You booking the territory. Okay. All right, then. I'm listening.
I wouldn't have booked this. And I wanted this to be good. Like, I really did. Because I told you months ago on the show, I was like, I think this is where they're going to go. And I think it'll be good because they're twins. But, man, it just, it wasn't even mildly captivating.
This should have been the Philadelphia street fight that they had on night 2. Like, that should have had that stipulation. And we'll talk about that street fight for night 2, but yeah, this didn't work for me, dog. This didn't translate well.
I honestly think, and it's not very often that I say this, but I agree with you that I think it could have benefited from having furniture in it.
Yeah, a stipulation of some sort.
Yeah.
This was a blood feud, and they didn't treat it like it.
Yeah, I mean, if they didn't get color, that's fine, but a kendo stick, a tape, a chair, something like. Even if Solo came in, I would have been fine with that.
They needed more hatred, like more. The LA Knight AJ Styles match had way more hatred than the Jimmy versus Jay match. Like, they actually jump started that match. They brawled. Like, you could tell that they had a long, physical rivalry. But Jay and Jimmy, bro, what was this?
I don't know. Don't give him another shot either, because I don't want to be disappointed again.
No, it's over. I don't know how Jay recovers.
Well, he recovered pretty well on Monday.
He's been exposed last couple times. He's been in big time PLE matches.
I thought he had a good match with Gunther, which, again, Gunther's a great worker, but I don't know. I don't think Jay was the problem.
PLE matches, Micah, not Raw.
Oh, okay, well. You got me there, I guess.
Yeah. He had Roman's worst match last year.
Well, there was some other circumstances in that, like tribal combat, and there's nothing different about it.
That actually did have a stipulation. That's stuff.
Well, yeah, but that was the involvement of the brother bull crap that made no sense. That led to this match, which was even worse. So,
oh god. Well, it looks like they're going in a different direction now on SmackDown, so I'm interested in that.
Yeah, which we'll get to that. But following this, Jimmy's wife was next up. Naomi, Jade, Bianca, the Power Buff Girls, as I've seen them coined on Twitter, versus Damage Control. And say what you want, I enjoyed this. Jade has like insane aura for somebody who's very new to WWE and really very new to wrestling. Like, she's had sub 100 matches, and she's just captivating from the moment that she shows up on screen. Just because you look at her and she's like a more athletic, prettier Chyna.
Yeah, and they highlighted her strengths so far in this run. Like, her promos have been short, and her matches have been well put together, and they have been tag matches or multi-man matches. And you call them the Power Buff Girls, Mike. I think you mean Storm, Cyclops, and Kung Lao, because that's who came out. I don't know what you saw. What was that? Why is Kung Lao a part of the X-Men?
I really don't know, but I got to give him a shout out for the X-Men gear because it was cool. Jade always has really cool, like, not cosplay gear. Well, I guess it would be cosplay gear.
Yeah. That's what it is. But yeah, I mean, most of the roster cosplays most of the time.
Yeah, and I did like the Cyclops Bianca. I wasn't expecting that, but it was cool. I just wish like Naomi could have been like Phoenix or Rogue or somebody. I mean, somebody in the X-Men.
I was just about to say that. Yeah, it didn't fit in, with what they were going with. Felt like they didn't tell Naomi what they were going to dress up as. Maybe they had a second group chat away from the main group chat.
Oh man, that's a sick feeling when you know you're not in the other one. But I do agree with you, which people online are being like weird about it. They're like, I don't think Jade has changed anything since she came to WWE. It's like, dude, she's had like 3 matches. Give her a little bit.
And she's over. She hasn't had to do much. She hasn't had to do much, and she's over. So I think whatever they're doing is working.
That and like I'm sure people compare it to Cody because it's like a lateral move, kind of like that. But the thing about Jade is she's literally never been introduced to this WWE audience, unlike Cody, who came from WWE first. So she's still learning. Jade, there's nothing wrong with Jade having squash matches now in WWE because she's new to the WWE audience. And while they might steal elements of what their package was in AEW, they always bring their audience up to speed on who somebody is and introduce them to their core audience. Not, oh, well, we know everybody's seen her in AEW because they probably haven't.
That's a good point. I didn't think about it like that. That she is the first person to just show up on WWE television straight off AEW and not have a prior relationship with WWE. I didn't even think about it like that, but you're right.
Yeah. I mean, because Punk, obviously, Sean Spears, obviously, Brian Pillman Jr.,
he's on
Lexus King.
Well, I
know. I'm just talking about in general, people that have jumped from AEW to WWE have already had a career there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I guess you got a point because Brian Pillman Jr., that was his second appearance on WWE TV because his first one was when his pops died on that little episode where they interviewed his mom.
Oh, no, I wasn't even talking about that, but...
Oh, well, he did get introduced to the audience back then, but still, I know what you mean.
Yeah. Well, but even Brian Pillman Jr., when he comes over, they completely repackage him. So
new name, new gimmick.
I don't know. They have a trend of doing smart things, and I think what they're doing with Jade is smart, despite what everybody wants to say. Well, she hasn't advanced, even though the PC is there. Like, give it a minute. I mean, good God, she's been on TV like 3 weeks.
And she doesn't have to have 5-star bangers to succeed in WWE. Let's be honest. I mean, come on now.
She just has to have better matches than Jimmy and Jay did.
That's not a high bar to jump over, but I think she can make that one. She can make that one. This match kind of was there though.
Yeah, I thought it was a good showcase match, like for Jade and Bianca. I mean, and that's really what it was here for, because the winners were obvious the minute this match got announced. And I feel like everybody got their shine and everybody got on the card.
Yeah. It was fine. It was fine. Asuka still defeated at WrestleMania.
Yeah, she's what now, like 0-7?
Yeah, 0-7. Yeah,
it's insane considering she started the company like what
2 years undefeated, and then retired. She left NXT without dropping the title. Like they literally just stripped her of the title.
And then Charlotte was like, that don't work for me, brother. Well, anyways, speaking of long title reigns, we come to the Intercontinental Championship match between Gunther and Sami Zayn, which to me was the absolute shock of the weekend.
Wow. Of the weekend
as a whole.
Okay. All right. It was it reminded me of when Undertaker had his streak broken at WrestleMania. Not on that scale, but still though, it's like a shoe-in. Undertaker's gonna beat Brock at WrestleMania. And then he didn't. It was a big shocker. And everybody was saying going into this match, well, Gunther's not gonna lose to Sammy. They're gonna save it for Chad Gable or Jey Uso or anybody else. They're not gonna give it to Sammy. And then Sammy went in there and he beat him. 666-day run, Micah.
That is probably, well, I mean, it's without a doubt the greatest Intercontinental Championship run. It's the second best run in WWE, even if it's not a world title. I think it's probably no, not history. I'm talking about like current, like Roman's run was obviously the greatest. Day? Yeah, I would say it's the second greatest modern day run.
Oh, whoa. 434 days, CM Punk? Don't forget about that.
Are we counting that modern? That was like 2013.
That's modern. Or cell phones, Micah. That was modern.
10 years ago, Ryan. We're old.
Oh God, that was 10 years ago.
Yeah, he lost the belt at Royal Rumble 2013.
Oh God. Oh, still, man, I don't know. It was a great run. Top 3, top 5 for sure.
Well, before the match, Sammy was in the back talking to his wife, talking to Chad Gable, talking to Kevin Owens. And looking back on it, this should have been the key that he was going to win, like the way they started this off. But I don't know. Like you said, I thought surely they were saving it for Jay or Braun Breaker or Chad Gable. But I got to admit, when he got to Kevin Owens, that made me want to run through a brick wall. Like, that was a great hype. That's your best friend. Go out there and handle business. And I thought that was well done.
Production was great for that shot. One shot, they followed him throughout the backstage area, through Gorilla, and out into the sea of humanity of WrestleMania. That was a great shot.
Yeah, I know Vince is probably rolling over in his, well, I won't say grave, but he's got a foot in the door. But I really like the shot. I almost made a horrible joke. I really like the shot following the guy out of the entrance. So you can kind of get a perspective of what it's like to see that from their point of view. You know what I'm saying?
See, they used to do that. Well, not to that degree, but during the early years of the Attitude Era, where they would follow guys through Gorilla. Like, do you remember the Montreal Screwjob match with Shawn and Brett, where they followed Brett all the way out there and they followed Shawn all the way out there, and you had the music playing in the background? You know that little music where they play when the steel cage comes down. You know that music I'm talking about, Mike?
Yeah, I remember what you're talking about.
Yeah. See, I like that shot. I'm glad they brought that back.
Yeah. There's a lot of good production stuff going on. And, I mean, it's like on SmackDown, they had a smaller stage that wasn't like the one on Raw where they packed a bunch of people in there, but it was just a smaller LED screen, almost like the one they use for live events. But I even like that better just because it's not like, boom, like we're WWE, look at all these lights, look at all this money we spend on lights. Like, I don't want to see all that. I just want to see wrestling.
Did you see the report that came out? They said that they're going to use that particular stage going forward because they're putting so many people in the building. So they're going to use that setup going forward, at least until, business starts to die down a little bit. Then maybe they'll bring out a different stage. But yeah, that's the norm going forward. That little minimal setup they have now.
Yeah, I'm all for it because, like, that is one of the things that turned me away from WWE was just the overly bright presentation. Like, I don't even love the LED barricades, but it's just a lot better when it's all black. You got the logos, and that's all you need.
And showing the crowd too, especially if it's a packed building. Like, show the crowd.
Yeah. Which I know, like, during matches, they usually put, like, blue light on them or whatever for SmackDown or red light for Raw, which I'm not a huge fan of. At the same time, I know it's annoying having a giant, like, just blaring white light in your face. So,
yeah.
Anyways, Sammy versus Gunther. Let me get my match thoughts, and then I'll add this at the end. Really good match. Probably the best in-ring technical match of night one, without a doubt. Gunther's chops are more impressive than Sammy's, but Sammy, like, he looked like he was able to take them toe-to-toe with Gunther because Gunther's chest was a lot more red than Sammy's. Maybe that had to do with the fact that Sammy has hair on his chest and it is red. But Gunther, like, he was taking a beating, which I feel like that adds some of the realism into it to people that were watching for the first time because obviously WrestleMania catches a lot of past fans watching.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of good false finishes. I mean, you easily took the bait on anything Gunther did because I thought without a doubt that Gunther was going to win. There was a couple times he hit multiple power bombs, and I was like, okay, that's it. There's no way. And then he continues to kick out. And that's where they get you with something like this. A long title reign, you almost never feel like it's going to end. And we'll get more to that with the main event.
But the kickouts were believable, Micah, because he has like 3 or 4 finishers that he uses.
Yeah.
Like Gunther beats people with the power bomb. He beats people with the sleeper hold. He beats people with the splash. Like he'll pin somebody with a big chop. Like he has multiple finishers. That helps with all his matches, because I mean, believably, he can beat you with a lot of different moves.
Yeah, and I like that because, I mean, it's different. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has a finisher, but Gunther's just a technically sound wrestler. I might choke you out. I might hit you with a power bomb. I might hit you with a spine buster. Like, it's always something different, but he never needs to do splashes off the top rope. I can tell you that much.
We should have known something was up when they kept on showing Sammy's wife. We should have known, oh, man, Sammy better win this title.
Yeah. She was front row, too, so you knew it was important.
Yeah. And he would just turn to her and start talking, like, periodically throughout the match.
But they kind of did the same thing with Gable, so I guess I wasn't too concerned about it.
Maybe that's why yeah, I guess you got a point.
I don't know. It was very well put together. I'm not sure the producer for this match, but I thought it was really good. And the finish was probably the best part because Gunther looked out of sorts because he couldn't find a way to beat him like he's beaten, obviously, everybody else. And he looked awkward doing splashes, which maybe he really can't do them, but I thought it added to, like, he's out of his element. He's trying something just to beat this guy because this guy won't stay down. And then that ended up being where Sammy caught him.
Well, the crowd started rallying behind Sammy, and he started, hulking up, basically. And Gunther looked at Sammy's wife in disbelief, and that's what cost him with the haluva kick from the top rope.
Yeah. And then to finish it off with the brain buster, which is a huge callback that I don't believe he's done in WWE.
No, not at all. Bro, that would never fly. If Vince was still running, if he was still captain of the ship, he wouldn't have been able to do no brain buster. Are you crazy? I haven't seen him pull off that move I was like, he was in ROH.
Yeah, probably since he had the mask on. And to a guy like Gunther who's freaking huge.
I'd say this. Sammy doesn't look, physically impressive, but he's pretty strong, man. Like that little blue thunder bomb he does, that takes a lot of strength too.
Yeah. He's probably like one of those CrossFit guys, like who, I'm not saying he does CrossFit, but just typically those guys aren't swole, but they have like a lot of core strength.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So I don't know, but it was
perfect.
Clean brain buster.
Yeah, it was perfect. He like late, right on the dot, like because that could have went wrong. Do you remember when Will Ospreay got dropped on his head with Takeshita last month?
Yeah,
with that same move, like cut up Will's back.
Mm-hmm. Because I mean,
landed right.
I'm about to say there's very little room for error.
Yeah.
And the brain buster, 2 haluva kicks, and that was all she wrote. I thought it was, like I said, the best in-ring match of night one. It was a huge shock when it happened, which when he hit the brain buster, I was like, yeah, that's probably it. But
bro, I was in disbelief when he hit that.
It was so awkward watching Gunther take it too, just like I said, because he's such a big guy. But Sammy's very instrumental in this new wave of fans and just this overall boom in the business.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
And
bloodline stuff he did.
Yeah. That's like Royal Rumble last year is one of the biggest pops I can remember. And I think he deserves a lot of recognition for that. And I think this is probably their way of giving back to him. I do have to admit, this is not the guy I would have picked to put the belt on or in the streak personally. But I understand why they did it, and I'm not upset with the result. I also think that Chad Gable owes him a favor, and I'm hoping that Chad Gable turns heel and becomes a serious mid-card wrestler.
That would be great. And if you're going to beat Gunther, you beat him on the grandest stage of them all, and you beat him with a move that nobody has ever kicked out of and nobody has ever seen. So, I didn't have a problem with it. I really enjoyed this match.
I think it grows on me as it goes, especially, like I said, if Gable ends up turning heel, that's overall a good thing, because then, like, the problem right now in WWE going forward is Roman has been such a dominant force, and Gunther too has been such a dominant force, that we have so many baby faces. We don't have enough heels. Gable and Gunther freeing themselves up to become heels is better for the company as a whole, because Gable is a legitimate shooter who, like, if you walked up on him in the airport, he would probably break your arm. Same with Gunther. And so they're credible.
Yeah, I agree. But can we chill out with these long title reigns, at least for a little while? I know that's sacrilege to say, but bro, what happens to the days where you just drop it on Raw, drop it on SmackDown? Can we have that now? It's a new era, Micah. Can we do a little? Can we switch it up a little bit? Sammy doesn't need to hold this title for 10 months.
No, I say he drops it. Maybe Bash in Berlin. I don't know. We'd have to see.
Yeah, and quit holding stuff off of the big PLEs. Like, you can't drop it here. You got to drop it at SummerSlam. Oh no, that's not a big enough show. We have to wait till next year's WrestleMania. Like, Jesus, no. That just puts stuff in a holding pattern. Bro, if it's time, it's time.
Priest will hold it long either.
I hope not. CM Punk.
Oh, well. Keep it warm, pal. Phil's coming. But overall, a really solid match. And that leads us to the main event of night one. The final boss, The Rock, and the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, versus Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. Before we get started on the actual match part of this, The Rock had an insane entrance. It got me so hyped for this. Like, the promo package and everything was great, but the entrance was so cool. The flaming Brahma Bull, the final boss charging up or whatever, the Hollywood Rock song, which I'm so glad they brought back. It just really, even the title.
He's People's Champion, Mike.
It makes him feel like, I guess it's a great visual representation of the magnitude that is a guy of The Rock's stature. He is legitimately the most famous celebrity in the world, or actor, I should say. And I mean, that goes to show when he's on the main stage of WrestleMania, it was watched for billions of minutes this past weekend. So great entrance. I don't really know what else to say.
And it's not counting how many watch parties they had. Like, how many people do you think actually watched this WrestleMania, Micah?
Oh, there's no telling. I would say at least probably 1 million.
Oh, I think it was way more than that, because they were streaming live everywhere, like across the world. You think only 1 million people watched this live?
Oh, well, that's a good point.
Like, how many fans in India watched this, bro?
Yeah, I don't even know. Or like you said, watch parties. I mean, dude, there was people that like there was people on my Facebook that I didn't even know liked wrestling talking about this.
Yeah, bro, it was a happening.
And I mean, it was all over TikTok talking about Cody finishing the story. My wife, like, her coworkers were talking about watching it with their husband. And I was like, okay, I mean, hey, more power to you. I'm glad there's fans out there. But it was, like you said, it was a happening. It was, where were you when The Rock came back?
It's crazy that our podcast started all this wrestling boom, man. Because I mean, it does coincide. It coincides with the wrestling boom.
Because when we came back, or when we came out,
pause.
When we started this podcast, that was the thing started to uptick for WWE, and because we started at that first SummerSlam that Triple H did because Vince retired on our third show.
Yeah, it was crazy. We had such a monumental moment that happened on our second or third show.
Yeah, I didn't even know how to address it. I'm sure probably now looking back on that episode, there's probably some things we said that weren't good.
Oh, we had a lot of audio issues too.
Yeah, and to be fair, we knew Vince was creepy, but I don't think we knew he was crapping on people's head.
Oh yeah, we did say thank you, Vince. But look, bro, bro, if we had to redo that episode, we probably wouldn't use those same that same send off of thank you, Vince.
Yeah, probably not. No, there was some good contributions, a lot of bad ones. But anyways,
the contribution of Rock was the MVP in this whole match. Rock's selling was on point throughout the whole match. Took a spear like $1 million, Micah. That spear was his facial reaction after that spear he got from Roman. That was great, man. I saw nothing but memes afterwards with that too.
My favorite that I saw was the one that was when you spear your cousin and he's crying, and you're like, man, it hurt you, man. Your cousin.
Yeah, that was great. I like Rock abusing the referee too, verbally abusing the referee.
Oh yeah, that was
you're fired.
That was one of my favorite parts of this. Was I wondered before. I was like, man, surely they would make this a tornado tag because I didn't think Rock was going to be as good as he ended up being, but he was good in the ring. But I was like, okay, well, why wouldn't they make this a tornado tag? I feel like you could space it out a lot better with that. And then exactly, they did it, but they did it in a very inventive way. But it's believable because I don't want to lose my job.
Oh, and then he sold that Cody cutter. He sold that better than Roman did.
Oh man, he jumped into it a little bit, but it was great.
He took it like a champ, though. Roman took it like a shoulder block.
Yeah, which that's Rock though. He was always like that about selling, and he didn't have to come back. This is all just for the love of the game, and I think that's the best part about this was. This was just because Rock wanted to do it, and the heel run was rejuvenating to him.
Where are all those people that said he was going to get gassed in the first 2 minutes and he was going to hurt himself? Where are all those people at now, Micah? I want apologies from all those people. CM Punk said he wants the apology to be just as loud as disrespect, and I want that from all those Cody crybabies out there.
They were wrong, and you were right.
Yeah. Oh, bro. Rock taking a rock bottom through the announce table. Was that something that you had on your bingo card at the beginning of 2024?
No, I wrote that down. This was my notes verbatim. Rock looks way better than I anticipated. Not that I doubted The Rock, but how many times have we seen older people come back and look awful, but not the people's champion? He even took a rock bottom through the table. For the love of the game, baby. And I put that part in all caps.
Did you see? Go ahead.
I was going to say, because what 50-year-old comes back as a star? Stone Cold took some crazy bumps. But rock bottom through the table. And I know we're glazing, but I don't even care.
He's the final boss. We have a reason. We didn't glaze harder than Meek Mill did when Rock was on the ground. Did you see that clip going around?
Get up, Rock.
Get up.
Why did he say it like that?
Hey, bro, you can't defend Meek Mill after that. Come on, man.
Oh, well, you can't defend him after them P. Diddy parties either, but
I was surprised he was at WrestleMania, man.
Well, I think that's all hearsay, and he's not exactly confirmed, so that was probably the only reason.
Know. He went on a Twitter tirade when all that stuff was alleged. So I don't know what's that thing. What's that saying, Micah?
A hit dog hollers.
There you go. There it is, right there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's some strange clips out there. That's all I'll say.
You see the one where P. Diddy calls Meek Mill daddy? What do you feel about that, Mike? You ever call a grown man daddy?
No, not in a non-joking context. No, I don't think so. I quit calling my dad that when I was like 10.
Yeah. But back to Rock, Roman, Seth, and Cody.
Yeah.
Did you think this was going to be the second longest main event in WrestleMania history?
No. I thought it was going to go like 20 minutes. I thought it was going to be long, but I mean, 45 minutes for a 50-year-old Rock, that's crazy.
And bro, if we want to count everything, the entrances and the aftermath, this easily went about an hour and a half.
Oh, yeah. Because I remember looking down at the clock and I was like, there is no way this match is going to go that long. And
it did.
I mean,
that's your dog protest in the background.
Yeah, not a big fan of the final boss. She barks again. She's fired.
She a Cody crybaby, huh?
She's fired. Oh, but I gotta admit, I did really enjoy this match, even if it was long. Like all 45 minutes were very captivating to me. Just the stakes, the in-ring wrestling, the out-of-the-ring wrestling, the personalities all came together to just build like there is no bigger main event headline match than this. It's the biggest star from the past 10 years, the biggest movie star in the world, the newest big star, and then the secondary star for the past 10 years.
Yeah.
You can't write that. I mean, I would have never thought that this was going to be the direction they went, but I was pleasantly surprised by not only The Rock's performance, but this match as a whole. I was very shocked that Cody took the pin, though.
Well, it paints him more of as an underdog the next night. I wasn't surprised or shocked because I knew Seth was losing for a fact the second night. So I mean, Seth couldn't take a L 2 nights in a row. I mean, me personally, I would have made him take a L 3 nights in a row. But Seth is still over with some segment of the audience, so you couldn't make him look like a jabroni 2 nights in a row, Mike.
Well, I mean, I would have been fine with it, but
oh yeah, me too. I would have almost there released him. I probably wouldn't. I'd make him sit home for about 8 months.
He did kind of take 2 L's though the second night.
He put everybody over this whole weekend.
Yeah, I gotta give that to him. He did.
Yeah, he was unselfish.
I mean, there's something to be said for that, but
if you were a big time Rock fan like myself, you really enjoyed this match. And this was one of my favorite main events that they've done at Mania in a long time. Like I enjoyed last year's main event, the KO versus the Usos, but it doesn't get any bigger than Rock and Roman, Cody and Seth. I mean, that's what WrestleMania is all about. The big time stars coming face to face with each other. They didn't have to have a catch as catch can wrestling 5-star banger kick out fest. No, bro, they just had. I mean, they stared at each other a lot, but who cares? That's what the crowd wanted to see, and the crowd reacted more of them staring at each other than they have for any AEW main events over the last year. So they're doing something right.
I mean, that's the thing, though. Like, and again, we'll kind of talk about this when we get to the main event, but it's just when you're so over, eventually, there's just some stuff that you can get away with. It's Austin with the mud hole stomps, and
yeah,
I don't care. Stare for 3 minutes. Make me want to see your match even more, and that's what they did. And it was a great match. As somebody who's a fan of The Rock and wasn't born or old enough to watch his earlier run.
Yeah, his peak.
Yeah. I got to see him come back for the Cena stuff, and I loved that as a kid. Looking back on it, maybe not the best stuff, But
Oh,
this
man.
run as an adult, that's an all-time run. That's an all-time 3-month run. I don't care if he didn't have a match or not. His segments were marquee television.
And we're just in the beginning because I think he has 2 more WrestleMania matches in him.
You think so? You think him and Cody are going to be WrestleMania?
I've heard some rumblings from dirt sheets last couple of days about Rock wanting a WrestleMania match with Cody. And I know for a fact Rock and Roman are going to have a WrestleMania match. So I can see Rock having 2 WrestleMania matches.
Yeah. I feel like him and Roman has to be a send-off.
You think Roman? Like that's his retirement match?
No, I'm saying Rock.
Oh.
Like that has to be Rock's last match.
Oh, yeah. I can see that. I can see that.
Well, overall, what did you think as a whole of WrestleMania Night 1?
Bro, the last 2 matches did save this card because other than that, there really wasn't a standout match where it's like, wow, I'm gonna go back and watch that. So I give it a 7.7. It wasn't as good as last year's WrestleMania Night 1.
Yeah. I would agree. Probably a 7 for me.
Yeah.
It was good. It wasn't as good as last year's WrestleMania Night 1. And Night 2 this year kind of broke the streak of typically Night 1 is better than Night 2. But to me, Night 2 was way better. And we'll get to that in just a second. But yeah, saved by the last 2 by an absolute mile, especially the main event. Because it's The Rock. What more can we say? What did Meltzer give that match? I didn't see that one.
That one, I think he gave it like a 3.5 or something like that.
What? The Rock match?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay. What's that Lil Wayne clip where Eminem didn't make the list? Okay, go Gucci or whatever he says. Or shout out Gucci. Anyways, WrestleMania Night 2, wildly renowned as the better night this year. The opening match.
Well, hold up. No, he gave it 4. I'm sorry. 4 stars.
Oh, okay. I still would go higher, but
yeah,
that's just me because I will go back and watch that match.
Well, not enough super kicks and kickouts, Micah.
Well,
need more of that.
Of the Jey Uso match.
They didn't kick out anything. That was the problem with that one.
But anyways, the opener was for the World Heavyweight Championship. Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins, and CM Punk was on commentary. Right out of the gate, Claymore, false finish, almost got me, especially because we knew Seth had that barn burner the night before, 45 minutes. And I mean, it was less than 24 hours earlier. I could have bought it if that was the finish. I mean, it happened with Daniel Bryan and Sheamus.
I was hoping CM Punk would get an entrance here.
Well, he did on the pre-show.
Well, I didn't watch that, man. You watched the pre-show?
I had it turned on because I was like, it was like 15 minutes before the show. I got Mexican and I was sitting down and I was ready to watch WrestleMania.
You got Mexican. What did you get?
Dang, what did I get? Speedy Gonzalez, enchilada, soft taco, and rice.
Oh, okay. All right, you had a good little WrestleMania meal, but I don't know, man. I feel like CM Punk should have had an entrance on the main show. Because if you're like me and you watched it on tape delay, basically, you didn't watch the pre-show.
Well, I guess you got me there.
That's a me problem.
Overall, it was an all right match. I'm not going to say it was good. I don't think it was bad. It's just, they just hit a lot of their, like, the moves they're famous for. And I think a lot to do with that is just Seth is injured.
Call it out, Micah. We call spade a spade here. Finisher kickout fest, it was.
Yeah.
But look, we gotta be fair here on Scoop Slam podcast. But still, Drew did get his moment in front of fans, so I like that. But yeah, it was a little finisher kickout fest. And if this was across the enemy lines in AEW, I don't know if I would have enjoyed this match as much as I did. But yeah, finisher kickout fest.
I think I enjoyed it because Drew was in it, but
and Punk.
Yeah.
Like Punk on commentary.
Well, that too, but I mean, So he hit the first Claymore. I'm pretty sure it was the second one, and then Seth kicked out. I was like,
Nah,
like we're on that line a little bit here. It was okay. I won't say it was bad.
and then
but
Seth hit the curb stomp on the announce table, and then Drew got thrown back in the ring. And then Drew hit Seth with a Claymore right then and there, and then he kicked out of that. Or am I misremembering that?
Nah, that sounds right.
Okay, so 4 Claymores. I don't know about that, dog. But
yeah, especially considering, like I said, Seth literally just went through a 45-minute match.
Yeah, I think the real story of this match is the aftermath, which was something that I don't think anybody was calling at all.
No,
and it was executed very well.
Oh yeah, I wish that you could have been here to see Hannah's reaction because it was great. So obviously Drew gets the win. He climbs over there, a little zesty, but he was on the announce table, and it was. He gets on the announce table, and he's right in Punk's face for whatever reason on his hands and knees.
Yeah.
And he was basically showing him that this is mine. I did this. You can't do this. You can't do this at WrestleMania.
He was obsessed with Punk.
What?
He was obsessed with CM Punk.
Yeah. Well, he stood up to showboat, and Punk grabbed his feet from out under him. He flipped him over, proceeded to take off his sling cast thing.
Oh, man. That gave me false hope.
Yeah. Me too. I was like, what? He's not injured?
I'm like, oh, he can go. He looked good.
Well, then he clocks him with it, blows a kiss to his wife, and then does the Judgment Day meme where he pans to the entranceway as the Judgment Day music hits. Which makes for all-time content because now people are taking that and running with it. And so then Priest comes down, takes the belt, or takes the briefcase, cashes in, and it's not the heist of the century, but it was straight up highway robbery. And Hannah was like, as soon as Punk started beating him up, she was like, no. And then Priest... He panned, like comically panned, and then the Judgment Day theme hit. And she was like, no, they're going to take it from him, aren't they? And I was like, yep. So I'm over here. I was dying laughing because it was funny to me, and I'm a Punk fan, which I love Drew, but she's swapped allegiances. It was a great moment as a fan, and I thought the angle was very well put together, completely unexpected. And the Drew Punk feud has potential to be feud of the year, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. It was a win-win-win for all parties involved. Drew got his moment in front of fans. Drew's obsession with Punk cost him the title. Punk got his moment by attacking Drew. I don't know if you caught it, Micah, but the crowd went insane when he took off that brace.
Yeah.
And then Priest finally redeems himself from an underwhelming Money in the Bank run and gets the world championship. Bondage Undertaker. Like a goof. He still looks like a goof, but Bondage Undertaker is our world champion, Micah.
Rest in style, as Rhea said. That might be the best. Like, at this point, I think I'm a fan of the Judgment Day solely for the memes that come out of it because you have bisexual Undertaker.
Well, Drew called him Bondage Undertaker.
Oh, well, Rhea called him bisexual Undertaker.
She also called him something else that I don't know if we're allowed to say.
I'm not saying that one, but...
Is that allowed to say now? I don't... Is that something that the kids are saying nowadays, Mike?
I think the kids are saying it, but we're not going to say it on the show, but she told him to rest in style.
I thought it was more like a British thing to say.
Well, it is, but I think like the younger audience...
Yeah.
Well, but they don't even mean it in a derogatory way.
No, they just mean it in like a Help me out here, Micah. You're younger than me, man.
It's like another word for like slay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get
Which,
you.
I mean, that's
cringy.
Yeah, that's not dialect that I would use, but
I don't know if I can use the other one either, though. You know?
Yeah, I think it's more ironically funny than it is.
I think it's something you can use online more than you can say like in public, you know?
Yeah. I think it's popular with the female crowd and the
Yes.
the LGBT crowd.
Okay.
I don't want to offend anybody when I
there
say
you
it,
go.
but I'm
we
just
gotta
saying.
Move on.
Yeah, we're digging a hole, but the internet crowd and the women in the LGBT community, those are the ones that I typically see saying it, and I personally think it's funny when they use it about Damian Priest.
Yeah, and he is still confused about how that happened, how he got that reputation, but I don't know.
Come on now. Have you seen
some moments? Yeah, I've seen it.
The clip of him throwing his dress back is the one that always cracks me. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's because it's the way he pushes his chest forward to push his dreads back. Anyways, we're way off on a tangent. This was good. We'll move on. Philly Street Fight was up next. Final Testament versus the Street Profits. Or not just the Street Profits, with Bobby Lashley, the Pride, my bad. I'm trying to get like my mind back on track. I'm blown up.
Oh, Damian Priest on your mind there, buddy, huh?
Now you made it worse.
Okay, all right.
First off, Snoop Dogg, GOAT guest commentator, better than Titus O'Neil last year. I was dying.
This was insane. His commentary was insane. They were popping each other, but it was different because they do that in AEW, and I hate it because what they say is not funny. And it's all insider stuff. But Pat McAfee, Michael Cole, and Corey Graves were having a ball, and they were actually funny. They were actually hilarious.
It was cracking me up too because you could absolutely tell when they would mute their mic because they were laughing because it would just go radio silent except for Snoop.
Yeah.
But man, he was great. Like he wasn't technically sound, but it made it interesting that he was on commentary. More interesting than the match.
I don't know if it was this match or the match after this where I noticed they were cussing a lot during this WrestleMania.
Yeah, Pat McAfee, I don't think he is told to have much of a filter. I'm sure it's like toned down a little bit, but
they didn't bleep it when he said, the SH word. I mean, come on, man. Like they use a lot of curse words at this WrestleMania. Tides are changing, Micah. Tides are changing.
Well, if you believe the rumor and innuendo, apparently they know that the like more cutting edge, non-PG stuff appeals to a younger audience, but they're finding a balance where it doesn't like piss off their sponsors too. So,
bro, this is the perfect time to have that though, because you got to think, Micah. 2009, 2010, who was in the audience? Kids, Cena fans. Now, those Cena fans are grown up. Those Cena fans don't want that same content that they saw in 2009, 2010. That's why the Attitude Era worked so well, because all those Hulk Hogan fans, they were eating their vitamins, saying their prayers in 85. They're all teenagers in 1998, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that's basically my generation because while I wasn't a huge Cena fan, I was like 7 in 2009. So now that I'm grown up, I would like a little bit more of an adult product. That's why the Rock's run was so great.
Yeah. That's how you bring back the lapsed fans that you lost, and that's how you make new fans.
Yeah. And so I think it's a good way. I think they're right. Finding a balance is the best way to do it. While I don't think that their sponsors are going to be as, mad about some stuff as maybe they do. Because, like, at the end of the day, WWE just did record-breaking everything for WrestleMania. So throw in a couple more curse words. Let somebody get some blood. Like, is it really going to hurt?
it's not hurting UFC's business when they cuss or use homophobic slurs. Like they actually, I'm pretty sure they said the F word a few times on UFC television.
Oh, Sean Strickland is a very unhinged person.
So I don't think it would be a bad look for them if they threw a few F-bombs around within reason.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say it, but if it comes up on the TV, it just makes it feel more real. If you've ever been around somebody who really in real life gets in an argument, that's the kind of language they use. While I personally don't use it,
oh, bro,
doesn't mean that the rest of the world don't.
Off podcast, I just drop a F-bomb every other sentence.
I say, I'm the only reason that you hold anything back on here.
But yeah, the final testament, Pride.
Yeah,
I have nothing wrote down. Scarlett looked good.
I knew you were going to say that. Well, what about BFAB?
Was she there?
Yeah, she did a kick.
Bro, I think I was watching this in headphones and my controller died, so I had to plug in my controller and I was mad, so I had the volume turned down. What happened in this match, Mike? Explain it to
me. Quick match to get some guys on the card. I don't know about beating the Final Testament, though. I mean, I'm not like huge on them, but this is their first big match.
They've lost
everything.
Go
from here.
AOP lost in the tournament. They lost here. Hey, Bully Ray looks just like Alex Jones. I don't know if we said that on the podcast, but
he does.
He look in good shape though. He looks good.
Somebody put on Twitter that like Alex Jones couldn't pay all that Sandy Hook money back, so now he has to. So now he's taking up like freelance wrestling gigs. Oh God, this is falling off the rails. But there was a lot of like good memes and just crap about this whole show. But yeah, this match, you blink, you missed it, and if you blinked, you didn't miss anything. So
yeah.
LA Knight versus AJ Styles was next up. I enjoyed it. First, I didn't hear a lot of AJ's new theme song. All I know is it wasn't Evil Ways, and it was evil whatever they did, because it was awful.
It wasn't great. The first like 5 or 6 seconds was I was like, what the heck is this? But then the beat drop and I was like, I guess it's okay, I guess. But yeah, his other things are way better.
Yeah, I need to hear it in like a smaller arena, maybe on SmackDown. I didn't catch the main event tonight, so I didn't hear that, but I will go back and watch it. But from what I heard,
do you know what it is? It's corporate rap. And that's what it is. I'm the greatest. I'm the best, bro. I'm telling you that's the style they use now. I don't know why. What happened to good old Dad Rock? Can we bring back Dad Rock?
Hey, I'm down. Well, see, Rock is dead. That's the problem.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. What happened to all the little garage bands? Do we not have garage bands anymore?
No, because everybody becomes a SoundCloud rapper.
Well, you got me there.
Why get 4 of your buddies to make music when you can do it by yourself?
Yeah, I guess you got a point. Bro, that's when the world went downhill. Garage bands disappeared.
Like, legitimately, name a new rock band that you know.
A new one?
Yeah. Or even like name a popular rock song that's came out in the past year.
A rock song?
Yeah, exactly. I know like one new rock band, and I like them because they make like 90s sounding music, but I mean, I wouldn't say that their songs are crazy popular.
We don't have bands anymore. Just don't have them.
Well, that's a shame. Everybody has to be a solo act. But speaking of 2 solo acts, AJ Styles versus LA Knight. I wrote down it was 2 pros and they're doing what they do best. A very middle of the road good match that didn't have any like crazy spots or anything. Just 2 grown men getting in there, scrapping. They got a problem with each other because they both feel slighted, and they handled it. A big win for LA Knight, biggest win of his career, and it ultimately furthers his stardom, which it seems like they're going to continue to push him, which I'm glad about. Good win, good match. Nothing more on my end that I can really say.
I thought this was LA Knight's best match. I thought it was refreshing to see a jump start because we don't see that often in WWE. Like AJ ran down from the ramp to start the match, which it should have been. They hate each other. LA Knight literally went to AJ Styles' house and invaded his home, beat him in his front yard. AJ and LA Knight did aggressive snuggling during WrestleMania. What was that? The WrestleMania presser thing. So I mean, this match had heat on it, and they treated it as such. And Jay and Jimmy should be taking notes because that's the match they should have had. But anyway, LA Knight busted out some new moves. That little tornado DT he had was pretty cool, and the top rope German was nice. But yeah, the right outcome, LA Knight wins. And I'm not hating what they're doing with AJ so far.
I think it's slowly building. Like, I won't say that it's just the most over heel act right now, but I mean, it's working.
Yeah, and he shouldn't be used as a tippy top guy because he is 46. His body's not what it used to be. He should be in the Shawn Michaels role. That's what he is. That's what he's doing right now.
Yeah, which he said he's probably got like a year or two left anyways. So,
well, bro beat his body down for 20 years, taking bumps in that unforgiving 6-sided ring that they had in TNA for years. So it's surprising that he can still move the way he can move, because I think he's the same age or a little younger than Chris Jericho is, which, I mean, that's night and day when you look at those guys.
That's crazy because AJ feels so much younger.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Because like Jericho was pretty much already away from the wrestling business by the time AJ really started breaking into TNA.
When AJ showed up in WWE, Chris Jericho was pretty much done with WWE at that point. He was around for a couple more years, but he was part-time.
Yeah, because they did Y2AJ, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. They dropped a t-shirt, and then the t-shirt was, you couldn't use it after 1 week.
Why? Because they broke up?
Yeah, they broke up literally the next week after they released a new t-shirt.
Oh my God. Well, other than that, I don't really have anything to add, but I am interested to see where they go with LA Knight because I think he's a big candidate to win Money in the Bank this year.
Money in the Bank is in Toronto, so I wouldn't put it past them to give it to KO or Sammy or something like that.
Well, that's true. Speaking of Kevin Owens, he was next up in the match for the United States Championship. Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton.
I enjoyed this match way more than I thought I would. I think this was one of my matches of the weekend.
I know when it was over, I told Hannah, I was like, I honestly think this was one of the best matches of the whole thing. She was like, really? And I was like, yeah, because there was just a lot of like funny stuff, but at the same time, I'm really good in-ring wrestling because Logan is such a natural. It's insane. Like, he doesn't look out of place.
They paced it well, too.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, both of these guys have careers in wrestling that are almost old. Like, their combined career, Randy and Kevin Owens, is older than Logan is as a human being. And he doesn't look out of place. And I'm not going to say he's having like a generational run with the belt, but his presence adds a lot that people don't realize, especially to like the younger audience.
Oh, bro, he's grabbing up streamers to be on WrestleMania. Like, him getting speed. Like, bro, look, I don't like old buddy Speed, but I mean, he has a fan base. It's a younger fan base, but I mean, pretty much anybody under the age of 12 knows who that guy is. And Logan Paul, he's getting big time celebrities that you usually wouldn't see in WWE. He's getting them on WWE television, and that's doing them wonders for like social media clicks and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I mean, Prime is center stage. I mean, quite literally, on their program.
That has a chokehold with the youth too. Like them kids love Prime.
And I mean, it's now sponsored with Cody. They
Yeah.
sponsored a soccer team today.
Jesus.
They're sponsors of the UFC. So, I mean, it's a big deal. And stuff like that goes a long way. Like, people don't realize, a lot of people online want to be like, every match has a sponsor, something like that. Like, yeah, it does, but that makes a lot of money. And it's not like it was really getting in the way. Now, some of the choices were questionable, and I won't say anything because it's not my right to say if it's questionable or not.
Oh man, come on. Come on.
But when people point it out online, I mean, it's like, I don't know if I would have.
I pointed out instantly to you. I was like, wait a minute. Why is the fried chicken sponsoring the 6 women's tags match?
I can't speak.
I don't know. And the what wasn't the Fresca, wasn't that sponsoring the LWO match?
Yeah. And then the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley match was sponsored by Gin and Juice.
No. Oh man. Well.
I mean, because again, like I said, it ain't my place. But when somebody pointed out online, I was like, that's not a good look.
So what happens if Powerade sponsors WWE in like 10 years? Do they have to blur out the Prime logo when they show highlights?
Oh man, I don't know. Do they blur out the Slim Jim logo whenever they show highlights of like old WCW?
But Slim Jim's still a sponsor.
But have they been the whole time?
Well, I mean, it probably wouldn't be a problem. Slim Jim's been a sponsor with WWE for a long time. I remember like back in like 08, 09 seeing Slim Jim ads.
Well, then I honestly don't know.
How does that work? Yeah, how does that work?
Because like UFC has to blur some of them, I think.
That's gonna be weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like you would have to write something in the contract that's like, okay, we'll do this, but like.
But what if Gatorade comes along, Micah, and says, "Hey, we don't want that Prime logo on those highlights you're showing. We don't want you to advertise for the competition."
Well, I don't. Maybe it's like, with the WWF now. For the longest time, they couldn't do anything, and then it was like, okay, you can't make anything new with the WWF logo, but all your archive stuff, you could have that. So maybe a deal's in place like that. I don't know. But anyway, speaking about the match, I thought Kevin Owens and Randy teaming up in the beginning is a classic spot if you have a really like good chicken heel, which is what Logan is. But it's even better when the heel is actually somebody who has a punchable face, who the fans don't like. So that worked well to me.
Yeah, they had some good chemistry. They being Kevin and Randy too, because they were cracking me up with their in-ring commentary.
I wouldn't mind them being a tag team down the line, like, just something throw together and then have Randy turn heel or, something could work.
I could see it.
Which, speaking of that pop-up power bomb that got reversed into the RKO that was smooth.
What about KO almost killing Logan with that little superplex in off the second rope that he does? That fisherman buster that he does, you know what I'm talking about, Micah?
Oh, yeah, Logan didn't, rotate, didn't he?
KO slipped off the rope.
Oh, that's
almost
right.
Got dropped on his head. And then KO, like a pro, doesn't miss a beat. 39-year-old Kevin Owens, I might add, Micah, just casually goes up to the top rope and does a picture-perfect moonsault. Like, come on, bro. Like, at 280, you shouldn't be able to move like that at 38 years old.
It's a legit wonder how they can get up in the morning, because I'm 21. I'm about to be 22 Monday, so
happy belated birthday.
I appreciate
early
that.
Early birthday.
But to do at the age they are, we take Shawn Michaels for granted because he was doing all that crap at not late, but mid 40s, and now That's pretty much everybody's age in WWE.
Well, considering the style that KO worked on the indies, like that, I mean, how is Bro doing half the stuff he does now?
No idea. Unreal athleticism, like genuinely. I mean, I don't care if he wears a t-shirt. You always try to make me say he's fat, but he is very athletic. And it's a really good match.
You do care if he wears a t-shirt. Don't lie.
Ah, well, I don't know. Jimmy looked out of place without a t-shirt on.
Yeah, that was off-putting.
But final for this match, Speed ended up being in the costume, like you said earlier. Do you think Randy actually got mad at him? Because he dropped an F-bomb on air.
Oh, bro. You could tell Randy was like, hey, you little piece of... You could tell he was mad that he was dropping the F-bombs. Right. I don't think they went over that. Randy probably thought the old buddy was trying to get himself over by cussing and pushing Randy like that. And so Randy just does a full Spartan kick and knocks the wind right out of Speed. Like, I'm sure, bro, we've all dreamed about doing that to Speed. Let's be honest. Randy is living our dreams right now.
Oh my God, the GIF has been shared all over Twitter now. It's great. And then he put him on the daggum table and RKO'd him. Yeah.
I hate that guy, man. He's so annoying.
Really?
Oh, he just does random noises. I don't like it.
I didn't know that you had a disdain for him. He's funny to me at times, but like it just depends.
It just feels like, the 1.5 GPA mentality. I don't know, man. Just making random noises. Like who finds that funny?
The personification of ADHD.
There you go. There it is.
See, okay, another guy. Let me see have you heard of Sketch?
Yeah, I like Sketch. Yeah.
Okay, see, he cracks me up, but then sometimes I don't know. Like some of the stuff I think is not as funny as people make it out, but maybe I'm a gatekeeper. It was funnier like 3 weeks ago, and not everybody was doing it, and now everybody's doing it, and I'm like,
yeah. Oh, I can. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Who do you think the next guy that Logan Paul is going to bring into WWE? You think he'll get Queso?
Man.
We'll get Queso?
I was about to say that. Had to be a big prime bottle.
You gonna get? Oh, come on now. Can you get Kai Cenat? You can probably get Kai Cenat, right?
I honestly thought that was who it was going to be. Like, I didn't think it was going to be KSI because that was last year.
Cole thought it was. Like, all black people look alike to Michael Cole.
Oh, man. Did he say that?
He said, oh, of course. And then Pat McAfee had to correct him, or Corey Graves had to correct him or something, telling him who it was.
Did he say KSI?
No, but he said, oh, of course. Like, what do you mean by that?
I was about to say, what does it mean? Oh, of course, a black guy. Like, Michael Cole?
Yeah, you can tell Cole did not know who that was.
Oh, man. I really did think it was going to be Kai Cenat, but, I mean, Speed makes sense because that's kind of the Logan Paul group. But, I mean, Queso is a wrestling fan, I believe.
That'd be hilarious. I like Queso.
He's funny, man. He's one of the actual good streamers to me.
Yeah, he's one of the guys that are actually funny, and his fan base is funny too.
Oh man. Well, I hope our fans aren't that evil. But anyways, last thoughts. I don't really have anything else about this match. It was good. I'm glad Logan retained, and I'm sure he's going to hold it till SummerSlam.
Yeah, one of my favorite matches of the weekend.
Yeah, it was good. Following that, personally, the best women's match of the weekend. Io Sky versus Bayley for the WWE Women's Championship. Honestly, I have to admit, I do forget how good Io is sometimes. She, to me, is one of the best in-ring performers that they have in the women's division, and she's pretty much solely over because of that. I mean, I know she was involved with Bayley and they had a main event group, but the language barrier is obviously present. as it is with all Japanese talent, or most Japanese talent if they can't speak English. That's what I was meaning to say. But her in-ring is so good that she's gotten over off of that. And I forget how good she is because her and Bailey really had a good match. I wouldn't say it was better than the Rhea Charlotte, but I would say it was better than Bianca Asuka from last year.
Yeah. Yeah, I can buy that. I didn't really write anything down for this match. I mean, it was a really good match, but it was predictable finish. Bailey got her moment. And we were running long, bro. And it was already like 3 a.m. when I was watching this. So
yeah, because you couldn't watch it live.
Yeah, I didn't write anything down. It was good. I enjoyed the match, but it was just,
I think that this weekend made me realize that I need to watch pay-per-views live and not
on delay. Yeah.
Because I'm so much more invested.
Yeah. 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 The product is cooking right now. I put my phone down for like majority of this event. And that's something that I haven't done in a while. And I enjoyed it a lot more. Like if I had, usually when we do the scoop and slam concept, I got my phone with me at all times taking notes. But I just sat back and watched it as a fan for pretty much the whole event.
Yeah, that's kind of I do have to agree. I think this new format is better for me to see it from a fan's perspective because, like you said, I'm writing down thoughts. I'm writing down, oh, well, this didn't really work or this was a really good spot, stuff like that. But with this, I didn't even do anything. And what I did to write my notes, I didn't even write them that day. I wrote them literally, after. And I just used TJR Wrestling. Put a very in-depth, thorough review. And I just kind of read through it, and it jogged my memory of what I thought in the moment. And to me, that's better for us because I'm not like, man, I've been watching this pay-per-view for 3 hours. I'm constantly having to go back and forth. I can just sit and enjoy it as a fan.
Yeah, I got Bleacher Report pulled up right now, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it does help. It's just good to cross-reference. I'm not stealing their content, but
it
just helps me jog my memory. But I do have to give TJR Wrestling a shout out because that guy, he put some straight up work into his stuff.
Yeah, they do good work, or he does.
And other than that, I thought it was a great match, better than the other one to me, the Rhea Becky match. And I thought the moment was very special for Bailey. She hasn't really been here in 4 or 5 years, since the pandemic happened.
It's her first WrestleMania singles match.
Ever?
Yeah. 8 years in the roster. First time she's had a one-on-one singles match at WrestleMania.
That's crazy. And, she reinvented herself after she got injured, came back in 2022, and she's been right there in the middle of great title reigns, Bianca, Rhea, Becky, but now, the path is clear. It's time for her. It was great for EO to get her shine, and I do think, like I said, she's one of the best ones that they have in WWE right now, but it was just a really good feel-good moment, and I am happy for Bailey. I do have to admit, sorry, I'll let me say this, I'll let you go. I do have to admit, since it was a feel-good moment right before the main event, I was like,
oh
no.
I think Bailey's one of the casualties of them not having a mid-card title for the women. I think if they had a mid-card title, like they do now in NXT for the ladies, Bailey probably would have been champ 4 or 5 times over by now. But since they insist on doing those long title runs, all up and down the card, even in the women's division, she is suffering because, she didn't have a path to the title.
I can see that. Do you think, since they are doing that in NXT, do you think that's something they'll adopt to the main roster?
I can see it being the guinea pig, like NXT doing it first and then gets brought up to the main roster. Because they've done that before on a couple things, like the War Games match. That was just, they tried out NXT. It worked well. Fans gravitated towards it, and they brought it to the main roster. So I don't see that the realm of possibility.
Yeah. And I think today is truly a different era. I mean, I know that's been bandied about a million times, but seriously, like the women's division in WWE right now is deeper than it really has been ever. And you can say that, like, okay, right now we got Bayley and Rhea as champions. There's no reason that a Becky couldn't be a mid-card champion. A Liv Morgan, who personally I'm not the biggest fan of, but people do gravitate towards her. There's a lot of like mid-tier women that could be great middle champions, but like you said, happen to be the casualty of a long reign.
Yeah. Yeah. Bro,
Bianca, Jade, Naomi.
They could have such a great division if they just combine those women's rosters, though. Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah. That I would give you that. But that brings us to the be all end all.
Yes, sir. We have arrived. Finally.
The main event. From last year to this year, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes, the culmination of pretty much this entire 3-year run for Cody. First, 2 all-time entrances opened this up. It felt like a closing scene to a movie or a video game. Cody came out just this absolutely insane skull. He looked like, he just looked like a hero. His wife's beside him. They had the cool, I like Brandy on TV. They had the cool, like, fallen empire background stuff, which kind of goes in with like the Roman Empire. And like I said, video game, movie, this is the final boss. No pun intended. But that's what Roman felt like walking down. He felt like this just like
felt like a series finale.
Yeah. He felt like a guy that he felt like Mike Tyson walking down. He felt like Anderson Silva. Just this guy, Thanos, this guy that, how are we going to beat this guy? He's beaten us before. He's beaten everybody. There's nothing we can do. And 1,316 days.
Wow.
It's easy to say that he genuinely was the final boss, even though The Rock kind of stole that tagline for the entire WWE. And Roman has, to me, proven himself to be better than John Cena at this point.
Absolutely. And it's crazy because this is a new era, Micah. They hammered that home all on Saturday and Sunday. The last guy that Vince McMahon chose was Roman Reigns. And the first guy Triple H chose to lead his new generation, his new era, is the guy that took the sledgehammer and destroyed the throne on the other TV show.
Yeah.
That's crazy to think about. Yeah.
I know. I would have never thought that Cody would have went back.
Yeah.
And then when he did go back, I was like, there's no way that Triple H and him are going to have a good relationship.
Yeah, because it was like the complete opposite of what they did when guys jumped over from WCW to WWE. Like, remember how they treated Booker T in his first couple years? Remember how they treated Goldberg? Remember how they treated Scott Steiner? Anybody that jumped over from WCW to WWF or WWE, they didn't get treated with the same respect. So you would think, well, the first big signing from AEW to WWE, he's not going to get treated right. But then he ends up changing like the whole business by being the number one babyface in the company for the last 2 or 3 years.
Especially too for that guy to be a founder of the opposition and the most anti-WWE guy for the longest time.
Yeah. It's like when they brought Dusty Rhodes to WWF in like the late 80s and they made him basically a cartoon character.
Yeah. So just the fact that Cody too, a guy that WWE pretty much shackled into a mid-card role and said, you'll pretty much be here for as long as you want to under contract, but you're not going to break out of this ceiling that we put you in.
He bet on himself.
Yeah. And it's such a great story. I'm not the biggest Cody guy. To me, he cries a lot.
His promo's a little, workshop-y.
Yeah. I really didn't love him in AEW. I think his WWE run has been fairly solid. But again, I'm not admittedly the biggest Cody fan, but his story, no pun intended, or, not playing on this, is legitimately one that everybody can buy into. And I think that's why he's such a great babyface.
It's something that you can't write though, Micah. Like, this was real life. This actually happened. Like, you couldn't have scripted this any better. It's just, perfect storm.
Yeah. And I think with every part of this made it what it was. You don't have a story like this without Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
You don't have a story like this without Vince stepping down. I mean, like you said, it is truly a series finale.
Yeah. It was just the perfect storm too. Like, some of the best stuff that's ever happened in wrestling is stuff that people just stumbled upon. Like, it just sort of happened that way.
Yeah.
There's no plan. I mean, it just happened.
Because I'm sure the plan, when Cody came up out of the tunnel at WrestleMania 38, I know the plan was not, okay, he's going to be our new WWE champion. He's going to be the one to dethrone Roman.
Yeah.
But, one domino falls, it leads to all these other ones, and eventually that's where we end up. And I don't think there's a better, like you said, a better story that could have been made.
Even if you back it up even further, Micah, SummerSlam 2015, Stardust tagging with Wade Barrett versus Stephen Amell and Adrian Neville was on that card. Could you have pictured that guy that night, Stardust, taking the title from Roman Reigns, the person that they christened the next John Cena, the person that could not lose a match for the longest time, the person that drove away a lot of fans, the person that they made babyface when the fans were booing him in every arena across the country? Could you picture Stardust taking the title from Roman Reigns in the main event of WrestleMania 40?
Absolutely not.
Even
like they kind of talked about it on Raw. Well, not really, but it plays off of that. When The Rock brought out that new WWE title and Cody was the one that came out there to like interrupt him. I mean, Cody still had the like mustache gimmick. You think that guy was going to be the guy that like The Rock wants to wrestle in the main event of WrestleMania?
Yeah. It's crazy, man, how things work out.
And the crowd was in this all the way. Again, how could you not be? Insane story. It's the culmination of his 3-year story since his return. The stakes have never been higher because last year you thought it was going to be over and then it wasn't. And then this year, if you don't win this time, you never get a shot. Bigger, no pun intended, it's better than last year. And while I have been a proponent of he should have won it last year, I got to eat some crow. Now that we've seen what happened, I think they made the right decision.
Business has never been hotter.
Not only that, but like the story.
Yeah. Yeah. The story had more weight to it because he's never won the world title.
The Rock coming in too. Like,
yeah,
I do want to see Rock and Roman, but I don't know. That tag match was really good. Like, it's one of those things you don't know how it is until you stick the landing, and I think they stuck the landing better than anyone could have imagined.
Bro, it was an emotional match too.
Yeah,
like, how could you not? The guy, man, I seen this guy when he debuted and with no knee pads and
oh god,
when he was like 20 years old in 2007, and he's now, bro. I mean, how long was he in the company? What was that, 17 years? So 17 years from he debuted and then when he won the title. Like that's crazy to think about. Like bro was in the company back when they had the old school Raw set, the Ruthless Aggression Raw set.
Yeah. Beat himself for the tag titles at Night of Champions.
Well, pause.
Hey, well, I'm just here to state the facts.
Oh,
The WWE Avengers come out to save the day, and even if that was telegraphed or hokey, I thought it was great, and it was absolutely what I wanted. Like I've mentioned throughout this whole thing, when you're so over, it doesn't matter. Solo comes out, Cena comes out to counter Solo, then Rock comes out to counter Cena.
No, you're missing the best part. Jimmy coming out, and then Jay just spears him off the stage.
Oh, yeah, I completely forgot about them.
That was better than whatever they had on Saturday night.
Yeah, that was a nasty bump, too.
Yeah, like they missed the table a little bit.
Yeah. But yeah, you had that to kick it off, and then Solo, then Cena comes out to counter Solo, then The Rock comes out, and we get this just
stare down.
Yes,
brought me back
it
to
was
2012,
insane.
man.
I sent you that video where they like patched the videos together, and it was like eerily similar how they just immediately like fit back into that.
Yeah, and they looked at both sides of the crowd just like they did in 2012. And then Rock bottom Cena. And Cena just rolls out the ring. So Cena, even when Cena's not booked in a match, he still loses. Like,
well, he got payback on Solo.
Yeah, but he got jabroni right after that. Rock told him, get the F out of the ring.
Hey, you know what? Good. That's the final boss.
Oh, I mean, he deserved it. I mean, what he did to that company, he deserved it.
Yep. Then Seth comes out, immediately gets punked, and then Taker comes out, which I do have to admit, I wanted the glass to shatter so bad.
Maybe it works better for Roman's story to have Undertaker because Undertaker did have a feud with Roman back in 2017. They had a match at WrestleMania. I fell asleep on it. I've never fallen asleep on a WrestleMania main event, but that one, bro, I couldn't. That was garbage. But yeah, they do got history, and Undertaker did feud with Yokozuna back in the 90s. He feuded with he threw Rikishi off the Hell in a Cell in the year 2000. So I mean, he has history with that family.
I mean, I know, but just imagine, like, it made more sense, and I was happy to see Taker. Don't get me wrong, because I'm a huge fan. But man, you see the Cena. You talking about Taker?
Yeah, where did he go?
You didn't see that clip of him running through the
No, I didn't. You gotta send that to me. I didn't see
You didn't see it.
I thought he just hid under the ring. I didn't know.
No, him and like 10 security guys are just like lightly jogging through the arena after that.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. No, I didn't see that.
Oh man, yeah, I gotta send that to you. But like, I don't know, man. You get the Cena Rock face off, and then you get the Austin Rock face off for like the last time, and then he hits a stunner. Like, dude, that would have been crazy.
Taker choke slammed Rock into the Shadow Realm because we didn't see Rock again after that until a couple minutes, like 5 minutes after the main event when Roman started rolling out the ring.
Yeah, once it was already over and done with by then.
Yeah,
but that was great to me. I mean, I wanted it to be that way. I wanted it to be overbooked, and so I got my wish. I did one funny part about this. I thought Roman hit the crossroads, and then
that move sucks. That don't beat nobody.
I knew that move sucked. I thought that was just really funny because I mean that's the Roman mantra basically, is just like talking during your matches and being kind of a cocky heel. I mean, not really kind of. He is a cocky heel, but that's been part of the best thing about Roman is you've been able to hear him during the matches. And lastly, for me, and then if you have anything else, Ryan, I'll let you hit on your points because I know this was big for you as you are an acknowledger of the Tribal Chief and a huge fan, the number one fan of the Final Boss.
Of course.
But I thought like the layers behind Roman choosing to attack Seth instead of Cody.
Yeah.
I don't even know that we have enough time to cover that. Like, because think like when I started getting back into wrestling and we watched the 2022 Rumble, it was Roman and Seth, and he still did not beat Seth and got too aggressive and DQ'd himself. But I mean, just that, and then the match as a whole, the guys running out. It was really a good match before all the charades and stuff happened like last year. What just a beautifully put together match by all people involved. I have to shout them out because the match was so good to me. Michael Hayes and Bobby Roode were the producers for this match. Absolute masterclass. Pro wrestling does not get better than this moment. I mean, that's
nah, bro.
I honestly have. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Finish up.
Oh, I was gonna say, I honestly have to admit, like, I had slight, like, I won't call it like depression, but I was like sad after it was over because I knew it wasn't gonna be that good again for a while.
Yeah, I agree, man. That it was the end of an era. And Roman lost because he hates Seth for breaking up the Shield. Like, come on now. That's insane long-term storytelling that they wrapped a bow around the story they told 10 years ago when Seth put the chair in Roman's back.
Yep. Even the way he sold it too.
Yeah. Yeah. He sold like $1 million. He put over a lot of people this weekend. I know we talked about that earlier. But I mean, it was a great main event. It had the antics that everybody wanted. Yeah, we did get Steve to run out, but we did get Taker, did get Cena. And I don't know how you could have done anything better. Series finale-esque cinema, what Triple H called it. I mean, that's what it was.
Yeah.
That was all I had for this match, Michael. But let me hit you with two questions real quick.
Okay.
Where do you see the bloodline going from here? Do you think it'd be like a bloodline wolf pack we gonna get Solo now?
I do kind of think that, especially because I kind of cheated and watched SmackDown already. But, well, I say cheated, but basically I already know what happened on SmackDown. I think so, yeah. I think it's probably going to be like a Roman with the Usos versus Rock with, Solo and Tama Tonga, or Jacob 2 comes in with the Usos and Roman is with Solo and Tama Tonga. But I don't know, because like I don't think Rock is going to be back until WrestleMania, maybe SummerSlam. So I feel like Jacob Fatu, I could see SummerSlam, but like I don't know. I think WrestleMania is a lock.
Yeah.
But I think to put Jacob Fatu in the main event against Roman really elevates him.
Yeah, that legitimizes him automatically. But I think Rock will be on TV more because he actually has, he basically is he's on the board, isn't he? So he has more stakes to the company. I think
did you
Rock's
see the shares they gave him?
Oh yeah, bro got paid like $8 million for that main event, and just shares alone.
Yeah,
no telling what the WrestleMania payday is gonna be like. But yeah, I think Rock is gonna be on TV a lot more often. I do think they're gonna run that angle you just laid out there. I can see that happening. Jacob Fatu is gonna outclass Solo though in every way.
Yeah, which is why I don't think they're gonna put Solo in the main event, which kind of sucks because like Solo's been there, but the money's with Jacob Fatu. Sorry.
Yeah, in comparison to Jacob Fatu, he stinks.
Yeah.
Especially when we see what his brothers can do when they get a main event spot and they just, crap the bed. So I don't know, man. I don't know.
But I do think that's where they're probably going to head, but I don't know. We'll see. What's your other question?
Prediction right now. WrestleMania 50. Who's the main event?
Oh, Jesus.
Every 10 years we get a feel-good moment.
50. Well, let's look at some young stars.
Okay.
I think Braun Breaker will probably be the heel in this situation.
All right. Got to get a guy that's underneath.
Yeah.
Maybe like a Ricochet. You see that?
I don't know. I don't know about Ricochet.
Maybe like I was gonna say Trick, but I'm sure he will be main event guy. Like in a couple years. Underneath guy.
Oh man, that's a tough one. I'm trying to think like who's a guy that like people rave about online but doesn't really get a lot of TV time.
Ivar.
Oh God.
Hey, the everyman.
I don't know. Like maybe
see a Hook. Maybe something like that.
Oh God!
Something
no, I do think it might be an AEW guy, but like
Dolph Hardy comes back.
Oh come on! My first
is a story.
My first thought, honestly, was Darby, but I just don't know that that'll happen. I don't know that Darby will be wrestling that long.
He'll be dead. Oh, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not put that out.
Jesus.
He'll be looking like Thunderbolt Patterson in the wheelchair, I'm sure.
Oh God. But like who's a Daniel Bryan, Chris Benoit, Cody Rhodes-esque guy right now? Like a mid-card guy that people clamor to see in the main event.
That's
Starks
tough.
maybe, but he's not like the technical.
He's still pretty young too, so I can see a Starks, but I think he's gonna do big things like as soon as he gets to WWE.
Yeah, me too.
Oh man, please not Jungle Jackoff.
Oh come on!
I'm just saying.
Let's not kid ourselves.
He's young, but he's gonna have to bulk up and grow about half a foot too, and apologize to one Phil Brooks.
Nick Wayne?
Oh God. I will not be. I'll skip that Mania. I will not be a fan. I will not be a fan at that point if that's the main event.
Yeah, you say that, but if I had told you 7 years ago that Stardust would have been in the main event, you probably been like, ugh.
Well, I guess you got a point. We'll see. Remind me in 2034.
Jesus, we'll be old.
Yeah, ancient.
I honestly like. Man, I don't even know. Because, like, a Chris Benoit, okay, WrestleMania 20 was what year? 2004?
Yeah.
So, in 94, where was Chris Benoit? Japan?
Yeah, he was Pegasus Kid in Japan. He was almost in WCW. I think he came over in 95, didn't he?
That sounds right. And then Brian was 2014.
On the
2004...
Andy Darling. He was ROH World Champion by that point.
Okay. Cody would have been 2014. He was already in WWE. So, man. Like, I don't know. I can't think of a guy that's like somebody on the mid card, but maybe that's just my mind.
Back it up to WrestleMania 10. Bret Hart. Somebody 10 years prior. I mean, he was a tag team guy.
Yeah. Was he in 84?
85, 84. Yeah, he was a tag guy. I think he came into company 85.
Okay. I can never remember like what year he started.
Yeah. I think he wrestled in 82. I think that was his first year in wrestling.
I'd really like to hear just like an IWC question. And people, like actually take it serious because I honestly have no idea. I'm trying to look at the rosters even and think about,
Maybe Daniel Garcia?
Oh.
Hey, bro.
Well, he kind of fits the bill.
Yeah, he got the dancing gimmick. Some people like him. A lot of people don't. Just like Stardust in his day. So, yeah, maybe.
I'm not gonna lie, when I'm looking at the roster, he fits the bill of a guy who has like a goofy gimmick and is like kind of a technical wrestler.
And young. He's young too. I think he's
Yeah.
like 25, 26, something like that.
I mean, you know what? Daniel Garcia versus Braun Breaker. We'll see where it goes.
Or MJF versus Daniel Garcia.
Oh man, well, that could work too.
Never say never in the World Wrestling Federation.
That's correct. And the only thing we're going to say in the World Wrestling Federation is that is it for us today. The only other thing I really have to say is absolute 5 stars for the main event. Night 2, I give it a 9 out of 10. Obviously, not everything was perfect. I think WrestleMania 40 is probably one of the best ever.
Yeah, I agree.
Solely because, the best part about any wrestling show, or really anything, is the end. If you stick the landing, that's what matters. And that's what they did here. You've got 17 that people love, 20 people loved, before everything happened. 30 people really like. What else is there? 39 was really good.
Yeah, 39 was great.
People like 19.
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah. I like 19. 21 I thought was okay. 22. A lot of the early 20s WrestleManias were pretty okay. Pretty good.
Yeah. But I would probably put this in top 5. I'd have to really look at everything, but it was very good. And like I said, the ultimate testament to a match is, will I come back and watch this? And I will absolutely come back and watch this match many times.
It had everything you wanted as a longtime wrestling fan. And like Michael Cole said at the end of the night, God, I love professional wrestling. That's what it was all about. It was a love letter to professional wrestling, Mike.
No. Couldn't have said it better myself, so I won't. But that is it for us today. We did go a little long, so we won't really get to Raw, SmackDown, Dynamite, all that good stuff. We'll talk about that next week. We will catch up with you guys. Make sure to get you some dead threads. Make sure to follow us at ScoopSlam, Instagram, Twitter, so you know when we upload. Check out our YouTube. Go give us some love. I'm starting to put these episodes up on there as well. And in the meantime and in between time, enjoy yourself. Watch some pro wrestling. Have a good weekend. And thanks for listening.